Number 6 on the list is Batista versus Undertaker. This is a freaking awesome match, and there's a lot that goes into this about why Batista versus Undertaker is such a big match. Undertaker had won the Royal Rumble that year, and Undertaker had his choice of who he was going to face for the main event of WrestleMania 23. Undertaker, basically over a period of weeks went out and he scouted if he wanted to fight John Cena for the WWE Championship, Batista for the World Heavyweight Championship, and even showed up to see what Bobby Lashley had going on ECW to go after the ECW title. Those are 3 real big talents that were in the WWE at the time. All 3 of these guys were big stars, and Undertaker decided to go after the SmackDown World Heavyweight Championship, going after Batista. Definitely one of the biggest stars in the business, but when WrestleMania came around and Vince McMahon planned out what he was going to do for WrestleMania, Batista versus Undertaker was not the main event. They ended up going with Shawn Michaels versus John Cena. John Cena, of course, being the main guy from the A Show, Monday Night Raw. I don't know if that's what panned out. That's the reason why they ended up going with that one. To me, the match was supposed to be John Cena versus Triple H in a rematch from WrestleMania 22, but Triple H ended up coming down injured, and Michaels was sort of like that last-minute replacement to sort of save WrestleMania and have John Cena a really big match. And honestly, in my opinion, Triple H is always going to be one of my favorite wrestlers. I think that Shawn Michaels and John Cena over-delivered and delivered a really good match, which ended up being the main event. But when it comes down to watching SmackDown and watching Raw, Undertaker versus Batista had the bigger build. Undertaker versus Batista had the bigger star power, and I think they had the best storyline that came in and delivered the best match. We saw Batista powerbombing Undertaker, or I guess Batista bombing him through the table. We saw the choke slams from The Undertaker. These guys really went out and delivered one hell of a highlight film for WrestleMania. And as the story goes, is that Undertaker collected his title and he walked back to the back. Then once Batista reached the curtain and he walked through a gorilla, he yelled at Vince and he basically yelled at the roster who was standing around to try your best and follow that. Undertaker and Batista deserved to have the main event of WrestleMania 23. And when the cards came down, it did not happen for them, but they still had probably one of the most memorable matches from WrestleMania.